Dare I say it, the Dallas Cowboys are a couple of more moves away from having the type of offseason we all wanted them to have. Whether it be a named player or just another quality addition to the roster, there's still some really premium veterans left on the market that fit exactly what the Dallas Cowboys need. Today, we're going to take a look at some of those guys, and one of our Dallas Cowboys players is lobbying for a reunion in Dallas with an all-pro cornerback. Let's get right into it, and be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content. All right, see here, John Machota has a list of the Dallas Cowboys roster moves thus far through free agency, and we're going to add another name to that because this list was made before Dante Fowler was signed. So they agreed to a deal with Dante Fowler, agreed to a deal with Javonte Williams, got an offensive guard, which is going to be a swing guard, got a defensive end, which is likely just going to be like a break glass in case of emergency depth piece in Peyton Turner, got a linebacker in Jack Sanborn, who honestly could be a sneaky good pickup and could be the Cowboys version of like a Zach Bond type of player, a little bit slower, but could have a similar impact as far as a one-year guy coming on a prove-it deal, but he has a lot more to offer than what the league has realized just yet. We have Miles Sanders coming in to shore up that running back room. I'm gonna tell you right now, I feel better about the combination of Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams, and a potential day one or day two rookie than I have about this running back room in a very long time. They traded for cornerback Kyer Elam, who looks to be an outside corner. They traded for linebacker Kenneth Murray for the Titans, and they signed defensive tackle Solomon Thomas, who looks to be a rotational interior D lineman. In addition to that, we re-signed Osa Odigizua, Kavontae Turpin, Brock Hoffman, Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas, Trent Siege, Tyrus Wheat, CJ Goodwin, Brian Anger, and Israel Mukwamu. As far as losses, the Cowboys actually haven't suffered that many losses this offseason. We've lost Zach Martin to retirement. That doesn't really count. He didn't really play all that well last season. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence to the Seahawks. Again, didn't play that much last season. Cornerback Jordan Lewis to the Jaguars. In my opinion, that's the loss that stings the most so far, and we're still trying to kind of make up for that loss. Offensive tackle Chuma Edoga. He was going to get Dak Prescott killed. Good riddance. Defensive end Chauncey Golston, while he had a good season last year, a rotational defensive end, somebody who likely wasn't going to see many snaps with the Cowboys, with a fully healthy defensive end room, even as it currently stands. Nealon, Sam, Micah, and Dante Fowler, Golston was not going to see the field that much. And then obviously we lost running back Rico Dowdle to the Panthers, who we effectively replaced with two more guys. So these are all the moves the Dallas Cowboys have made thus far this offseason. And to me, if you look at this list of players that they've accumulated, if you look at the depth that they've acquired so far this offseason, for the players that they've lost, they've really only lost 4 contributing players, if we're being honest. D-Law, J-Lou, Rico, Chauncey, Zach, I guess you could count him, so 5 contributing players. And to be quite frank, I think the Cowboys are a lot better off right now than they were at any point last season as it pertains to depth. Remember, by this time last season, we had lost as many players that we signed this season so far, and we actually got one of those guys back with a Dante Fowler, right? So I like what the Cowboys have done so far. I truly believe that the Cowboys are 1 or 2 really sneaky good veteran signings away from being fully prepared for the NFL draft. I think that they actually handled business, and this is probably why you saw Jerry Jones say, no, you don't build a team in free agency, but what you can do is you can supplement a team in free agency, and they have done a damn good job at supplementing their team. If you look at what they've accomplished, we no longer have serious need at the linebacker position. We no longer have a serious need in the defensive end room. Hell, especially if you throw someone like a Von Miller or someone on like that, that's going to just be a cherry on top for that defensive end room. We no longer have a serious need at running back as it pertains to this emergency situation. Now, if we draft a rookie in any of those positions, I think we can feel damn good about those positions for the future moving forward, especially considering your linebackers are DeMarvion Overshown, Maris Leofau, Jack Sanborn, and now Kenneth Murray. I really like that linebacker room. Your running backs, Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, and whatever rookie you bring in, I really would like that running back room. Your defensive ends, like I already said before, I really like that defensive end room, and adding anything else to the defensive end room is just a cherry on top at this point, to be quite frank. Now, as it pertains to positions, I do think Jerry and Steve and them, they need to keep their asses back there in that kitchen and keep frying up them McGriddles. The positions I think they do need to go ahead and still supplement and add something to, and we can get a damn good player, and I think some players that would make fans excited in these particular positions. I think the Cowboys need a cornerback, they need a nose tackle, and they need a veteran receiver. The receiver doesn't have to be some superstar receiver. It needs to be a vet that can help that receiver room come along, especially after they draft another young receiver in the first couple of rounds of this upcoming draft. So with that being said, the receivers that I'm personally looking at are Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen. I wouldn't be mad at Keenan Allen. I really don't trust Keenan Allen, I'm going to be honest, but I wouldn't be mad at it at all. If we did get Keenan Allen, I would be happy for the fans that are happy for Keenan Allen, because to me, that's how you fan properly. Just because they get a guy that I don't think is still good, if other fans are excited about him, I'm going to be excited for the rest of my fan base, right? So Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Brandon Cooks, I wouldn't be mad at him at bringing him back as a veteran as long as he's like wide receiver 3 and whoever we draft is wide receiver 2. Perfectly fine with bringing Brandon Cooks back as well. The defensive tackle position, I think that nose tackle position still needs a veteran there. I think we still need a proven vet there that in case Mozzie still isn't making the progress we need him to make, you can play this nose tackle, right? Calais Campbell, quiet as it's kept, he had one of the best run stopping rates in the entire NFL last season at that nose tackle position. So even at his experienced age, we'll just call it that, even at his seasoned age, he's still productive as a nose tackle in the league. So if Calais Campbell is willing to run it back again, if he's willing to sign with the Cowboys, wouldn't be mad at that. Leki Fotu, he's another name that I would take a peek at. This was the nose tackle for the New York Jets. Now that name is there for obvious reasons. The connection with Aaron Whitecotton, he wasn't a primary nose tackle. He wasn't the main guy on the field. Obviously, Quentin Williams is with the Jets as well. But he was there with Aaron Whitecotton. So if Whitecotton likes him, wouldn't be mad at him bringing some more depth. Leki Fotu is a very, very big guy. 6'5", 335 pounds, 26 years old. So still a young guy. Wouldn't be mad at bringing him in for a cup of tea, seeing if you can get something out of him. And then Raekwon Davis, the nose tackle for the Indianapolis Colts. He's probably the last guy on that list. I would probably prefer Calais, Leki, even a Jonathan Hankins. Then we get to like a Raekwon Davis. But any of those nose tackles, I think, would provide you a better run-stopping presence than a Mozzie Smith right now, unless Mozzie shows us some big leaps. And I just personally think that Mozzie doesn't have the mental fortitude. I'm going to be completely honest. I think that he's mentally not as equipped as he needs to be to play that position at the level that we want to see him play it at. So those would be the nose tackles that are still available. As far as cornerbacks, there's still a few really, really good cornerbacks remaining on the market. Kendall Fuller, Shaquille Griffin, Tre'Davious White, Ronald Darby, trading for a Jair Alexander. See, so the Cowboys still have plenty of moves just hanging around out there that they could possibly make between now and the draft that would honestly set them up perfectly for the NFL draft. They would be able to truly draft best player available if they make any of these remaining moves that I have listed here. If they get a corner, another outside corner, if they get a defensive tackle, nose tackle, if they get a veteran receiver, they would be able to draft best player available throughout the NFL draft at that point, because you have your depth taken care of at damn near every single position. At that point, you would just be looking to upgrade certain starter positions. And to me, that's where some of those day 1, day 2 picks come in from the NFL draft. So the draft, I'm looking at the draft as filling potentially 3 starting spots, okay? So that's why I'm not looking for them to fill all these starter spots that we feel like need to be upgraded through free agency. The draft, I'm looking at potentially filling at least 3 starter spots, and you may get another 2 depth pieces out of the draft as it pertains to guys that you may retain and how they're going to perform, right? So that's kind of how I'm looking at the NFL draft, how this offseason is kind of played out. And we have guys that are actually trying to recruit Stephon Gilmore back to the Dallas Cowboys. Wanye Thomas just posted this as of like an hour ago at Stephon Gilmore saying, hey, buddy, come back to Dallas. We need you. We need another outside guy. And I think Gilmore coming back, I would actually not be against this at all. Essentially, we would be running back the same backfield we had a couple of seasons back in 2023 with DaRon Bland and Stephon Gilmore until Trevon Diggs got healthy, minus Jordan Lewis, and then adding whatever rookie they're probably going to draft early on. I think they're going to end up drafting a rookie early on because I don't know if they're going to want to stick with Trevon Diggs much longer. But I love to see our players trying to bring guys back to the team that could actually help the team. I think Stephon Gilmore would be an amazing piece to add as a veteran corner. And if they did that, I wouldn't be looking at the cornerback position anymore outside of the NFL draft. Take a look at it. Last season, he played 15 games for the Minnesota Vikings, started 86% of their snaps, and only allowed an 87.5 quarterback rating when thrown against him. Had a pick, only got 3 touchdowns thrown, counted against Stephon Gilmore, same amount he gave up with the Cowboys. So Gilly is still balling at a high level, ladies and gentlemen. So I would love to get a Stephon Gilmore back to the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm all for this. Gilly back to Dallas. Y'all love hashtags so much. That's one I think is definitely worth perpetuating in the community. But either way, let me know how you're feeling about the Dallas Cowboys, how you feeling about the free agency so far. And I'm telling y'all, we are 1 to 2 more named signings that the casual fan will know. A Stephon Gilmore, a Jair Alexander, a Stephon Diggs, even though I'm not big on some of these guys, Keenan Allen. We're one of those type of signings away from everyone having to take a step back and look at this free agency period and be like, damn, the Cowboys did exactly what I would have wanted them to do, within reason, if you're a real football fan. But either way, appreciate you guys for tuning in. How proud them Cowboys.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.